Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. We are making our way to Attica. Attica is Ben Shiri's restaurant. He is a really well-known chef, not just in Australia, but all over the world. So what he is known for is, first of all, he uses and incorporates Aboriginal ingredients, which I think is very unique. And most chefs don't really do that, yes, especially in Australia. And I think it's important to embrace this culture, the First Nations people's culture. So he changes his menu every single week. So every single week will be different, which is so amazing. The amount of effort and creativity that goes into each of his courses, which is around, I think, 14 courses, is just amazing. There's many YouTube videos about him, and there's also there's an episode on Netflix called Chef's Table, I believe. And there's one episode that's dedicated to him and his restaurant and his story. So I will link that in the description so you can check it out. I think it is worth visiting if you are into food and into just dining in general. So this is the first time I've ever eaten at a fine dining restaurant, and I'm so excited that my first experience is at Attica, out of all restaurants. I think fine dining, especially for me, I don't really have any experience with, but I think it should be something to treat yourself every once in a while. So I'm just really excited. Here it is. We are approaching Attica. It is, I believe the building used to be an old police station, and they've transformed it into a restaurant. Well, but before this restaurant was even here, it was a police station. So I guess that, so here we are. That is Attica, the iconic Australian restaurant that is known all over the world. I am around 30 minutes early because obviously I didn't want to be late. So I'm just gonna walk around the streets and yeah, that's what I'm just gonna walk around and browse a little bit, and then we'll get there on time. It is such a lovely day today. I think God has just given me a beautiful day to be able to dress up and go to a beautiful restaurant and dine. Because the first day I got here, it was raining quite badly, and the annoying thing is that with Melbourne, when it starts raining, it's like off and on. So it would stop pouring, and then like maybe 20 minutes later it'll be sunny again. But the past 2 days have been truly a blessing, and I'm just so grateful for it being like this. And another thing that I'm not sure if I've mentioned or not, but the main thing that has influenced me wanting to come to this restaurant is a book called Youth for Obsession by Ben Shiri. It's a biography, and he writes about his upbringing and his training and how he runs his restaurant and his ups and downs. He also talks about how restaurants, some restaurants aren't very sustainable, and the food reviewers out there, which he calls Jimmy. They often don't give full credit or aren't as knowledgeable as people might think, but somehow they deserve to, write about restaurants when they, don't have enough, knowledge about it. So yeah, I recommend, if you are interested in restaurants and food and Australian restaurant culture, I would highly recommend this book. And to anyone who needs a bit of motivation, you don't have to enjoy, restaurants or cooking necessarily, but I think everyone has their unique story that often we can relate to. So yeah, I think I would really recommend this book to just anyone who, so I highly recommend that book. I'll rate it probably a 9.5 out of 10 in a general review, but it's definitely worth reading. And he also has an audio book on Spotify, so if you don't really feel like reading it yourself and you maybe don't have time to read it, you can listen to it on Spotify. I did that the second time. I read it the first time, and then just before I came, I listened to the book just so I can get a refresh. So yeah. Now this is a very special moment. I want to become a pastry chef when I'm older.
Oh, that's nice, yes.
So I want to do the Le Cordon Bleu course.
Oh, yeah, awesome.
Oh, this is amazing.
Yeah, please come to work.
Cordon Bleu is great, it's lovely. I hear Sydney is better though.
Yeah.
Have you?
I hear Sydney is better.
I live in Sydney.
Oh,
Okay, great.
I come from Sydney,
Thanks for
yeah.
yeah, awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh.
Directly in front of you is candied beetroot, being a species of beetroot. Then there's purple carrot, snow peas, golden beetroot, kabocha squash and fennel. I'm pouring in a single origin Indigenous tea to the Dandenong Ranges of Victoria. It's in there with our native ginger known as redback ginger, coming from Queensland. There's a shiitake mushroom broth, a chicken broth, katsubushi produced mackerel, the process by which bonito tuna flakes are created at the heart of Japanese cuisine. It can take up to 6 months in Japan. We spent a week on our mackerel, and that's all coming out of a David Shrigley collector's item, limited edition teapot. David Shrigley.
Oh my goodness. After about 3.5 hours, I have been transformed. This is a new me that's just come out of that restaurant. That was a 3.5 hour experience and one of the most amazing experiences of my life. Like the moment I stepped into that room, everything just paused and I was transformed into another universe. And it was so good. Hi guys. Turns out the train is not going past my station for at least 2 hours, so I'm catching a bus home back to my hotel, which is fine, but it's a little bit cold, it's a bit windy, but I'm all good. But yeah, that restaurant, Attica, has truly transformed and changed my my perspective and understanding of fine dining. It's just so well, created, from the plates, the utensils that they use, to the ingredients that they make the dishes with. It's just so intricately planned and so precisely executed. But the thing with this is the portions are quite generous and it was 14 courses. So by the end of them, I'm actually so full right now. Like, I'm so surprised that I'm actually full. Mainly because, I wouldn't expect anything less from Attica, but I always expected or thought that going to a fine dining restaurant, you'd be still hungry at the end of the meal. But wow, Attica has truly set my bar so high. Like, this is my first fine dining experience, and it's also my first time drinking alcohol. Like, I had a cocktail, and wow, it's just constantly been my first today, especially in Attica. First time having ants, first time eating crocodile meat, which kind of tastes like fish to me, like crocodile ribs. And I also had I think emu liver, I could be wrong, I think it was emu liver tartare. And what else did I try? And they used so much native ingredients that I didn't even know of. Like, I knew wattle seeds, but some of the ingredients that they used was so unique. I've truly never heard of it before. Even though all of us, including myself, have lived in Australia for my whole entire life, I'm pretty sure that 99% of Australians have never tried, or 99% of Australians that aren't Aboriginal haven't tried the majority of their native food that was served by Attica. So if you want that kind of experience, paired with 14 courses, all so interestingly made, so creative, and each course they talk about where it's come from, how they made it, the story behind it, the ingredients that they use to create it. It's so interesting, and then connects the consumer both emotionally and holistically, I would say. So yeah, it really just connects you to the food that you're eating, and it just creates an overall amazing experience. So yeah, that's my review. I was wanting to wait until I got to my hotel, but since I have time now and I still have all that experience in my head fresh, I thought I would share it right now. I couldn't wait any longer, honestly. So yeah, now I'm just waiting for my bus and I'm getting back to my hotel. It is about 10, just after 10. So I didn't expect it to go for so long, but it was so worth it. Honestly, this is going to be my tradition. Every single time I come to Melbourne, I'm going to visit Attica. That is something that I have already decided mentally in my mind. This is definitely one of the highlights of my trip, of my whole entire trip. I can already feel that. That's how amazing that experience was. So yeah, very, very highly recommend to any foodie and just anyone in general, honestly. Okay, so another thing that I thought of that I forgot to tell you, that the staff there are so knowledgeable on their food, and any questions that you have or you're curious about, you just ask them and they'll know the answer pretty much. Wow. And they can really like have a nice conversations with them. I had a conversation with, I believe it's one of the front of house managers, based on what he was wearing. He was wearing like a black suit kind of. So I think he was the front of house manager. But yeah, I was just talking to him about my dreams and what I want to do in the future. You know, have my own pastry shop. I want to become a pastry chef. And when I was about to leave, I also had a chat with their pastry chefs. One of the courses, you got to kind of walk past it, and on the way back I chatted to the pastry chefs, a girl and a boy, and I told them, you know, about my dream. And at the end of the meal, they gave me a little card, and on there was recommendations of where to, like, bakeries in Melbourne that they recommend. So it was like Attica's recommendation of bakeries, something along those lines. Oh my god, they were the sweetest. So sweet. I was so like beyond emotional and happy to receive that. It's like a souvenir, but also just so thoughtful. Oh, honestly, the people who work there are so happy. In the book, he writes how he treats his staff with respect, you know. Yeah. So like, I know towards the end of the book, he said that when in the beginning of when like people are first trained, or on the first day of work, chefs like to rock up really early, even before the shift starts. Like if your shift starts at 7, often they'll come at like 6 even earlier, and this is pretty much the norm in the hospitality industry. But he and also if you go early, I don't think you get paid for it. I'm not sure if you do. Probably do, but I'm not sure. Anyways, he actually doesn't allow his staff to come earlier than what they are supposed to, which I think is really good. It makes them more happy, and therefore they will perform better. So everyone there is so really friendly, really happy. It doesn't feel like it feels like they want to be there, you know. It's like a family, a community. Yeah, truly a great feeling to be a part of something so special. I'm so truly honored and appreciate their services and their hospitality. It's so warm and cozy, and yeah, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Highly recommend this restaurant if you come to Melbourne. Wherever you come from, this is a culinary excellence. Truly.